It looks like we are live. We're gonna do a reading. Well, I don't know why this thing wants to stream like a phone. Let's see if I could figure this out. Uh, um, I guess I can't. Well, that should have been something I handled earlier. Let's go for a drive then. And we are gonna have to change this, that's for sure. Alright, let's go for a drive. And got me energy drink. This is back where I started in Japan 2021 on the caffeine trips here. So hopefully you can hear me and the volume is okay, I hope. If anyone in the chat says they can't hear me, I'll just restart this whole live again. But anyways, okay. So, what are we going to talk about? 8-8, Lionsgate, new moon, or full moon. I'm thinking new moon because in August 2021 was when I officially launched this channel, and it was a new moon Lions portal. And I guess the message I want to put through to you when it comes to the astrology going on now, and I have so many people send me articles or whatever. Oh, hey, it's Lionsgate, Lions portal, but I don't think they really kind of understand what's going on there. I actually astrology checked one of these articles. It wasn't even written by an astrologer. It's just too fluffy for me, and I wanted to get down deep into what this Lions portal is. It's on a full moon, but in Aquarius. So if you think back to, by the way, if you're in live chat, let me know if you can hear me. If you hear me okay, but from that 2021, you had Mercury, Moon, and Sun in the sign of Leo, right? But you also had Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius. So right now I want to check out what's Saturn doing, because this full moon is happening in Aquarius. So me as an astrologer, the first thing I look at is, well, what's the house lord doing? It's retrograded in the sign of Aries, going back to Pisces. So if you look at the sign of Pisces in your natal chart, what was going on there in 2021? Whatever that house was for you, was it a finance house? Was it the tax house? Was it the love, relationship, romance, yourself, uh, finances? I think I mentioned that. But whatever was going on in that house for you in 2021, guaranteed you were either struggling. Obviously, we had the virus going on, right? I don't know if I can mention it on YouTube. We're still getting censored, right? Actually, Donald Trump signed something now about censorship with credit cards, which kind of explains what's going on with the Uranus and Gemini. But that's a whole other topic. But Saturn going on, whatever that Pisces house for you is, think back to what Saturn was doing there, because he was working in 2021 before he entered the sign of Pisces, and now it's going back into the sign of Pisces. So you got to understand that between Aquarius and Aries, you have that sign of Pisces, and you may have seen the hints, you may have gotten the messages then, for me personally, I launched this channel in 2021, and I remember the first video I uploaded, well, because I'm a Leo, right, was Leo, Aries, and Sag, the fire signs. For me, Pisces fell in my 8th house, and my father got in a car accident, and he was in a nursing home for a while. Then he had dementia, and I couldn't go home, right? Those were the hints that were going along there. And then just before that, with Saturn in Aquarius, yeah, I lost my mother too. It was in 2021. There's been a big time jump. It's been a big time jump from there to now. How I manifested with that new moon's lion gate in 2021 when I said I'm launching this channel, and I didn't launch this channel for money. I didn't launch this channel for popularity. I didn't launch this channel to preach or pass on religion or anything phony or bogus. I launched this channel about timing because I was going through uncomfortable circumstances, which in the sign of Aquarius for me is personally my marriage house. And I had to leave a person that I wanted to leave. Obviously I regret that decision. I messed it up, but at the same time, the timing wasn't right with Saturn there. Think about around that time where Saturn was in Aquarius for you. And I guarantee you, if you look at those topics, how they're kind of shaping out for you now, um, I believe that a lot of good things are either happening, or if you were just kind of like in this state of you can't make up a decision, you can't make up what you want to do, you don't have no directional idea where you wanted to go with something. For me, with this channel, was astrology and the timing. And the universe has proven me right every time, because I sat here and I put out the intention that I'm not doing this for money. I'm not doing this for popularity. I got 3,000 subscribers, and probably maybe 20 of them watch all the time, right? And the universe has been blessing me little by little with finances, with this car, with my new home. Even when I'm following my planets and I try to test Mars, and I said, let me go back to Japan, see if I could get that visa. Mars said, no, go home. Well, for good reason. So the fluffy astrologers say the things you want to manifest, sure, they're right. But if you don't put an intention or an action behind that, nothing's going to happen. That gate, that portal's closing. You ever think about the Avengers movie when they launched that time travel portal and they got to go get to the other end to save the world or get into the alternate universe? Or Doctor Strange, right? He's opening the portal. There is always an action behind opening that portal and stepping into that. And I guess that's my message today. If you're not really creating the portal for yourself, or creating an action, as little as it was for me to just hit the play button on the channel and start dropping videos, not knowing if people would like my astrology or tarot. It was something, and I don't regret it. And I'm really happy that I can still be here 4 years later, still doing the same thing. And yeah, I am being supported doing that. But anyways, so I'm taking you guys out for a drive in this car that I manifested. I actually manifested it. I wrote it on a notepad on the way from Japan to America. And maybe I'll put it in a post, screenshot of the notepad, my manifestation notepad, of all the ridiculous things I wanted and how I brought it to life. And Yeah, you can too, but it's all on how you think, right? And how you're going to use your planets. Look at your astrology and don't look at the astrology of like, oh, this is the portal for this moon. Great, I can manifest something and then forget it, right? And it's just like, look at the portal, what happened in 2021, how that's going to change or how that changed your life till now. And then use that for now with this full moon. Or if you've already started a project, how you're going to finish that. Because I look at full moons kind of like, hey, this is the culmination of that. And now it's kind of time to kind of go back into that new moon, right? You got to look at it in the lunar phases as well. So that new moon in 2021 is when I started something new, and here I am. And although I'd say that, hey, I'm not at the top of the YouTube algorithm, it doesn't matter. I'm at the top of my life right now, and I'm enjoying it. And I'm going to pull over here. I've got tarot cards with me. And this tarot deck, I've been carrying it since 2021. And there's a special significance behind this tarot deck for that 2021 period. I'm going to take you guys sightseeing. We're almost there. But yeah, when you're looking at your astrology, use that to kind of guide you. Not for, oh, Mercury's in Gatorade this week, or this planet's in retrograde, or oh my God, my life's ending. Mars is transiting this house for me. Oh my God, Saturn's just annoying. Instead of doing that, use the transits of where the planets are and kind of sail yourself. Sail yourself through life with the bad transit and the good transit. All right, this is one of my favorite spots to park at. And actually go hiking on this trail, but for now, we're not hiking. We're just gonna go outside. All right. And hopefully you guys can still hear me. All right, can you guys hear me? I think you guys could hear me now. I probably went blank for a little bit. Let's pull a card out. Well, Nine of Swords came out. So, Nine of Swords. Man, what a shitty card to pull out for 8-8. It's either something about the way you're thinking, or you think you're trapped in something, or you think, hey, nothing ever turns out the way I wanted. Well, you got to change that tonight. You got to change it. You got to change it, and you got to think about the first thing you got to think about was, what the hell were you doing 2021 on the new moon? What were you doing then? What was Saturn aspecting in your life? Because I guarantee you look back now, you probably still have the same problem. And that Nine of Swords is probably still the same problem that's lurking inside of you. I know for me, it was about being tied down in relationships that just felt doom and gloom, right? And so I escaped those things. Yeah, I was a little regretful later on, but at the same time, I don't think I would have had this freedom. I don't think I would have had this wealth. I wouldn't have had this happiness in my life. So think about what you were doing 2021 and how your thinking was processing at that time and how that's changed now, 2025, on the Lionsgate portal. Like I said, this car, I wouldn't have had this car if I was... I love this car, man. This is a symbol for me, by the way. And part of that symbol for me was, I remember just before the Lionsgate moon, I had a date in Yokohama. And I remember seeing a nice car like this. There's a car expo. I believe they had Nissan, but they also had a Hellcat parked in there. And I was like, that car is going to be mine one day. And here it is. It's mine. I made it happen. Unfortunately, I wasn't thinking that way about the girl. I wasn't thinking about, this girl's going to be mine the rest of my life. And I kind of spit on Saturn and what he was trying to teach me there. And I lost that. So I did get the car. Thank you, Jupiter. And I'll share a personal story. I had a windfall of money, not inheritance from my parents. My mom left me nothing. And my dad left everything to my stepmother. And as of now, I don't have any inheritance. But she deserves everything. No, don't get it twisted. She took care of him for the whole time I was in Japan. And she's a beautiful lady for taking care of my father the whole time. So she's going to help me out with a little bit of inheritance coming next month, right? But none of that was actually important to the story about how I got all this. How I got all this was just a windfall of money that came out of nowhere from something that I did at work. And it took 8 years. It was an 8-year process that I had no idea was under the scenes. It was being hidden from me. Now, if I would have had that wealth at that time, 2021, there would have been a lot less anxiety about the girl and how do I take care of her, instead of trying to run away and start this YouTube channel and look at astrology and trying to figure out, why are things happening this way? I've kind of figured it out, though, why things. It was timing. And I do think, if you look at this moon, what it means, Father Time, Aquarius. It's in Aquarius, Saturn. So all those fluff astrologers, all the people bullshitting you, telling you, oh, this is a great time for man. Bullshit. This is a great time to illuminate what the fuck Saturn was trying to teach you, what it is that Saturn wanted to get across to you, and maybe your thick skull in 2021. And I'll tell you right now, if it's politics and it's about choosing a side for you, you're so fucking stupid, because It's not about a side. It's not about if you're red or blue. It's not about that. And that's a whole difference. If you want to go modern astrology, well, we got Uranus and Gemini, and, well, it's the 84-year cycle. I think it's better that you pick yourself instead of picking the evil twin or the good twin. Because you might be in, look at the news. One day we're at war, one day we're not at war. You're completely stupid if you're left blue pill, red pill. But that's all I got to say. Look at Saturn. What Saturn was doing between 2021 and what the hell it was doing in your life just until recently, because it's going back in that sign of Pisces. So, anyways, guys, look at this view. I love this shit. All right, guys. Thanks for listening to me rap a little bit about astrology. Throw away the fluff astrology, all the articles, and, see what Saturn's doing. Pay attention to what Saturn's doing. You'll thank me for it. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.